Hey dolls, welcome back to part 2 of TESSology Tuesday.
Now he gets in a situation where he's supposed to trust his instinct that you instilled him, but you told him to go against that with the eating of the
moron. It's such an moron all the way around, and it's because of we're talking about the almighty dollar or of our food or our money, what it has taken. If you realize that you're feeding, who you said, Dante, whoever, so much food, then do not give him a lot of food.
Yes.
And then you realize that you may not know Dante may have abdominal issues. He may have an allergic, he might be allergic to something, or he may be having, some type of issues that you don't know. And he's just saying that I don't want it anymore. It's like, you're going to eat it. Then after that, what comes? A punishment.
Right. So now he's confused.
He doesn't understand. It's like, okay. And then sometimes the punishments are so severe that you're going to spank a child because they don't want to eat their food. Yeah. Or they're not. Yes. So I think, of course, there is a recourse and there's an action for everything. But I think sometimes you just got to weigh the situation.
Yeah.
And if it's
for that child too. Remember?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yes.
And you said a lot of things. So even the way we will reprimand, even in the African American community, the way we will reprimand is usually based off of how we were reprimanded, how we were dealt with. And the reality is we can sit and say, I hate it when my mom did this. I hate it when they made me do this. But yet we turn around and do that to our kids, and we do it with pride, thinking that means we're being a good parent. Or what I don't like is when parents get in the circle and they will discuss who beat the child more, who did this. Like, that's, think about the kid. Now, is it really about the correction of your child, or that you are so big and bad that your children fear you? Like, what is it?
Badge of honor. Like, you just gained this badge of honor of Whoop Nation.
Exactly. When you come in and your kids are like, that's not okay.
Yeah,
that
you're a tyrant now. You became a tyrant, and then that fear of
you're the monster.
Loving me. Yeah, it's like, okay, you are here. I spanked them for this and this and that, but you really don't understand what was really going on with, the child, because you chose not to even have that conversation, or you did not want to. And I think we all, as parents of any generation, you can fix it, you can learn, and it bothers me when those who don't want to learn or want to change, who are proud to say, well, this is just who I am. Or this is how I am, or how I was raised, or this is just me. Okay, we're all like that, but you have to, we should always be evolving.
That's right, always. Because something that is not growing is dead or dying.
It goes like this.
Yes.
We can really do an analogy of a plant.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's not growing. Something's wrong with that plant.
Yeah. It's not growing.
Right.
That's absolutely. And the worst thing too is that I find is to not be growing in the season that is the season for that's supposed to be a season of harvest. You know what I'm saying? Every type of fruit plant has a season that it grows in. That it's, I don't know, is it spring that strawberries or something like that? I'm not sure. But imagine the strawberry taking its time, or not being able to produce anything when it should be flourishing the most in that season, simply because the opportunity to grow wasn't taken. The opportunity for your kids, for you to pour into them in this season. Like, our kids have personalities, and we forget that. Our kids also go through things, and we forget that. They are
also kids are not us.
That's right.
They are not you. That's the wrong one. Our kids are not us. Stop trying to make them you. Stop trying to live vicariously through your children.
Yes.
Your kids are not you. Let them be them, and let them make mistakes. And you love them through these mistakes. And you have to understand, because it says something about you as a parent. Not only that, it says something about God.
You are. Before they have their own relationship, God to them. You are representing that to him. So what God do you want them to follow? One that tells you better do what I say, to fear him that way? Like, what is that? What is that? And to me, it's just logics. I don't have all the answers. I don't. And I'm not reading tons and tons of books of how to. I'm not. Well, the reality is what I am doing is I'm recognizing that our kids, they are at the mercy of every choice we make for them. They may make mistakes. And to me, it's logical to allow a kid to make as many mistakes as they can while they are with me, so that they can recover and learn and grow.
That's right.
As opposed to them leaving from underneath the protection of being a home, a minor, a child, and they go out in the world on their own and they make mistakes and they don't know that they can run back to mommy or daddy, or it's too late.
It's too late.
Yeah. So mistakes, praise God for the mistakes that are being made under your roof, because they are safe. You can see the growth, because when your babies leave, they're not going, if you haven't established those roles of communications with them, if they don't know that they can mess up and still be loved and still like grow and keep going, or if they don't know that they are not perfect, because no human being is, like allow them to have that space with you. If they don't have that, when they leave home, they don't have the protection of running to mom when it gets worse. They have social media and whatever the world is saying.
Yeah, they're not going to run to mom and dad.
No,
they're going to run exactly straight from what you think that you've instilled in them.
Setting them up when you don't let them fail at home. When you don't let them make
really
mistakes at
horribly, I will say. Yeah, and it's just by the grace of God that they are still watched, that they're still, protected, because God knows, and the way that He sees, He's like, okay, He's winking at it, because some like we said before, parents don't have all of the answers, but the things that we do know, we should have that grace in that period of like, okay, let them do this.
Yes,
you can still have boundaries at home, your goals, and your your guidelines and your rules, but at the same time, they need to be bent a little bit for the sake of, because you're raising children who are going to be adults.
That's right.
They got to learn to make decisions.
That's right. And honestly, I don't want my kids to just to only live by mother's prayers.
Right.
I don't. You know why? Because I want that my prayer for my children to be the overflow in which they live, in which they receive.
That's right. Amen.
Because I want to produce thinking children. I want to produce children who know how to make decisions and choices.
Yes.
You know
Survival skills.
Yeah, so you're not going to survive because of mother's prayers. No, I want you to survive off of what I taught you to do in life, which is to be a person of balance, a person of sound thought that goes to get counsel when it gets wrong or when it's hard. You know what I'm saying? And knows that it's okay if I make a choice and it doesn't work out the way I want it to, or if I don't meet my goal, it doesn't speak to my worth, at all.
Right.
I just don't want to set my kids up. Making decisions are important. Give them a trial run. That's what adolescence is. That's what childhood is.
Exactly.
Let them get a trial run of making the decisions that you did. You had a time to do
more than one trial run. Many, because they're going to be many trials.
Many.
They're going to need. And you said something that let them to make decisions so they can seek counsel.
Yes.
I wholeheartedly believe in my heart. I am for it all day about counseling. It is wise to go and get. I don't care how much a believer in God you are. I don't care who you are. Counseling is I think everybody should get counseling. I don't care if you feel like you're whole, you're healthy enough. Everybody at some point should seek it.
Absolutely. Check in.
Yeah.
It's a check-in.
Please. Yeah.
It is a check-in for your imagination. And this is important. I say that because
for your imagination.
It is. It's the checkup for your imagination. Everything you do, your visions, it's your imagination. However far it goes, however beautiful, creative it is, you just need a place to make sure you get it tuned. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Listen, yeah. You do that for your car.
You do for your car.
Listen, you want to make sure that it's still running smoothly. You got to make sure. Listen,
women, we
come on.
Listen, our brain is a part of our body.
Yes, and your outlook on life.
Exactly. You out here, mommy, snatching your waist, but your mind is, what are you doing? You teaching your children you can look good, but what about up here? Huh?
Okay, so do not even go in that, because that is another part of our book. Because definitely, I'm gonna have you back on. We're gonna talk about this, because we could talk about that for days, about self-image and really appreciating yourself and who you are, and thinking
at every stage.
Listen, any stage of life, appreciate who you are and your worth. And a lot of people, it's not just the thing about it. We talk to kids and especially our young girls, we talking to our teens, but there are 50-year-old, 40-year-old, 20-year-old, 70-year-old, 80-year-old women who are still, who have low self-esteem, who cannot appreciate their bodies and who cannot appreciate who they really are.
Yes.
And it's really, I feel that it's really, really sad.
Yes, it is. It is.
Sad.
It speaks to the emotional healing that we need in our communities, that we need, so many women need, because the reality is you stop growing at the age that your trauma may or may not have occurred, right? Or for those that have experienced any kind of trauma. It could be a loss of parents, it could be sexual, it could be emotional, or a big change, grieving, whatever, anything. But whatever age you were, this is where you stop growing emotionally, unless you go get it checked and check in with the counselors, unless you go and, work through those things. That's where you are. And so that's where you have 50s and 60-year-old, 8-year-olds. That's where you have, parents who really are children. Yeah, you might be 40 years old, but you are still stuck at 8 when everything happened to you or when those things occurred. And you're not passing on 40-year-old emotional health or a 40-year-old guidance in those areas. You're passing on 8-year-old.
Yeah.
God,
because
and that hurts.
To go seek wise counsel.
Yeah.
And because of what was taught to you, you don't tell your business. You keep your business in your home. And this has nothing to do about, religion. Religion ain't a cultural thing.
The culture,
You don't say anything. So that's why mental health, once again, I say that, and I don't use it loosely, but it's on the rampant because we're not saying what we should be saying and seeking the help that we need to be seeking.
That's right. That's right.
And now our kids and now we got kids who are doing the same thing, and they're turning to all these pill popping, anxiety, depression, stuff like that, and because we don't know how to cope, and they don't know how to cope.
Yes,
but we need to stop it today.
For sure. And in terms of the pill popping, like if that's what you need for your mental health, that's fine. But we're talking about how our kids are now self-medicating. There would be no Molly if we were
self-medicating. Right. So
that is what we're talking about. Yeah, we're not talking about if you have a disorder or a mental condition, depression that you might need medication for. By all means, do what you need to do. There's no stigma. There is no shame in that. Do what you need to do for your health, whatever it is, right? And so in that regard, but when you're talking about self-medicated and how, kids nowadays want to pop pills because we've taught them this emotional, unhealthy lifestyle of stuffing and we don't deal with things. When we do those, then our kids do all this stuff and we're doing a disservice to them. Honestly, I think the best message you can give to your kids is to let them see what it's like for you to navigate life, how it happens. Everything's not going to be happy.
I know that's the fallacy. That's what we're teaching them, that you have to be, everything has to be straight laced. You have to be here. You always have to be right. You have to be perfect, or you can't see your parents in a bad state. I feel that I've heard that parents, I'm not going to tell my kids my business, whatever it is. I mean, that's your discretion. You can use it. You don't, right? At the end of the day, but to divulge everything.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
No. However, but they need to understand that you're human and that you're okay. That okay, so I don't have to be, but you're requesting something from them that you can't produce.
That's right. I just
and parenting. I wish it was something that we could just sit here and say, "Oh, check, I got this." No, because their personalities, each child's personality is different.
Each one. I think
and we keep growing too.
Womanhood, motherhood, I think, and this is to even the women that don't have kids. I mean, some fierce aunties that are just,
a bomb.
Womanhood to me, I think this is the most beautiful job and occupation and responsibility that a human could have, to be a woman, to be a mom, because of the changes that we make from childhood to adulthood, emotionally, hormonally. We morph when we have children, the being procreators and giving life. It is a huge and very dope thing. And then we get to raise children who also change, who go through different seasons. And so how beneficial would it be to not keep that evolution away from our kids, but to allow them to see the example so that they can do the journey, their journey, without fear. They can do the journey the best way. You know, we're not teaching, I think many of us are teaching our kids how to live on the mountaintop, but before you get to the mountaintop, there's a whole valley. So I prefer to allow my children to see the valley that they're going to see. And let them,
and teach them how to climb.
Teach them how to climb.
You gotta get to listen. You gotta get to that mountaintop. You gotta climb. Yes, it's stuff that we need to do. And if we don't know, we can learn together.
We can learn together. But I also have made a commitment not to glorify the mountaintop, because if for whatever our children, if their purpose or destinies isn't mountaintop, but they are supposed to be leaders of the valley, if they're supposed to help people there, then for them not being on the mountaintop, they think they're worthless. So I don't want to glorify that. I don't glorify either. What I say is whatever space, ever time, ever season you're in, we bless God for that and we celebrate in that. You know what I'm saying? That's important. That's very important.
Oh, girl.
Yeah.
I love that. You spoke a word. And you are speaking words of encouragement and wisdom. And I like that, just where your kids and what God intended for them to be and who God expects them to be. It's not what we want for their lives. And
that's right.
We can go on and on about that, because that will open up a whole Pandora box. Really, that you're just like, I didn't do this, so I want my kids to do this. And Well wants you to be honest with yourself as a parent, a mother or a father, of, to say, okay, this is not about me. I want my child to be the best who God creates them to be.
That's right.
And I stand behind that. Even if my child is the person that is going to be the encourager, the one who climbs.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You just have to be, it doesn't have to be my child has to be on a platform. They got to be a YouTuber. They have to be out here with all the likes or whatever. You appreciate your children and you let them know, I love you where you are and I love you because of who you are.
That's right. That's right. I think it's just the best. Knowing that is the best thing ever. Knowing that I can live life and experience it and journey. And I always have a place to call home. Home is where your heart is safe. And where you can make mistakes and still be loved and grown, and you can even be rebuked and you feel okay. You know what I'm saying? A safe space. Like when you find out when men will get in trouble, prisoners or something, and stuff going on, the first person they bring in, if they want to get information or want to know what's going on, they bring the mother in.
The mother. Yeah, don't bring the person that's closest, or it's the one. It's always the mother.
Yeah.
I rarely see the dad, but it's the mom. I mean, no offense to our fathers. It's the mom.
It's just the special place of woman. I was thinking the other day, I said, when God created human beings, Adam, he really did make good on his declaration of your latter being greater. Thus man went to sleep. Woman was born. He says your ladder will be greater.
Thus, man went to sleep. What came from that, though?
Something greater, like God had promised.
Who came from that? Who? Okay.
A woman.
Thank you.
I may not be a man. Yeah. I may not be a man, but I know a little something because I come from man. You're real. Yeah. So that's
okay.
Yeah.
I receive it. I accept it. I understand it by and by.
The beauty of woman.
Listen,
best word.
That's right. We embrace it, and we just want to say, even as mothers, we don't have it all, but we know who does have it all, and we're here taking it one day at a time as mommies.
That's right.
I just really, 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 really appreciate you all for joining in. I want to just say thank you, Jill. You are an inspirer. You are an admiration to many. I mean, your story, you got to come back. We got to do a part 2 because there's so much more that people need to know how you even transition into having 3 11-year-olds. And in the 12-year-old all at once, it wasn't like, I watched all my kids grow from 0. Or from birth, it's like, I'm married and this is happening, and talking about blended families.
Blended families. It's a whole other thing.
and as a stay-at-home mom, there's so many things, and
Yes.
we just really, really need to do this and talk about it on the real to help other people to say, we don't have it all. It's okay. We out here trying to get it together.
That's
and
right.
we may look good doing it. We gonna look good doing it. Hello, somebody.
Absolutely. And when you don't, it's a badge of honor. You've earned the right to look so down. Right. You've earned the right to be busted. Come on, somebody. It's a badge of honor. It's a badge of honor.
Remove the mask.
Remove it.
Remove it.
Remove
it's okay to have these down days. Accept it and say, I am human and I'm glad for it. So listen.
You got to celebrate the small stuff. Do you have a bra on right now? Come on, bless God. Come on. Listen. Were you able to do it? I'm just saying.
No, listen.
You mean to tell me you don't cook breakfast? People are on their Zoom, they in school, and you got on the bra? You all right with me?
Come on, somebody. Yes, undergarments. Are you able to brush your teeth?
Come on.
Are you able to do your hair?
Did you eat breakfast? What?
I'm going to say, most importantly, to be honest, moms, we take care of ourselves the least.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's a thing.
We do. So
that's beautiful.
You see a mom like she has it all together. I'm like, they need to really be praised because I'm like, I understand what it took for her to even look like that today.
Absolutely. It says that I not only value my kids, but I value myself. You are the engine. You are the foundation to which your family is building on. Your kids are building on. So if you break down, what are you giving them? Broken pieces of yourself. And you shouldn't have to. You shouldn't have to. And I know that every mother, you want the best. You want to give them the best that you can. And when you are at your best, you're giving them the best. Like, honestly.
Hallelujah. We claim it today.
Yeah.
We start anew today. You didn't have to start back yesterday or whatever. Start today if you don't know how. Just find something. Celebrate the wins. Your little
Come on, celebrate the wins.
Celebrate the wins. And I need everybody to go ahead to mytestimony.com, and I need you to go ahead and pick up How to Be a Stay-at-Home Entrepreneur Mom and the planner. And also, please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Jill, please let everybody know what you're doing. Hey, why not? We got to sit up here and lift you up, sister. Come on, girl.
Sure. Well, right now, I am enjoying being a mom and navigating this season that we're all in now. And that's it. That's all I'm doing. I
want you to talk about your music.
Oh,
I mean,
sure.
yes.
I will. So you can look at social media platforms, the digital outlet platforms, I should say, for music. So that's iTunes, Spotify, that's Google Plus. You can type in Jillian Monet, and there's some music of inspiration. I've got an EP out. That's just 3 songs to bless you on your journey. That's it. That's why.
Why did you have to just say that's just 3 songs? Why? You could have just said,
because it's just a couple of them. I didn't want them to think. I don't want to say album because album is kind of gives connotation of a whole bunch. It's just a small. It's considered an EP. And in case they look it up on certain platforms, if you put in album, it won't come up. Some of them you have to put EP. So yeah.
I just want to say it's still an accomplishment if there were one.
Oh no, yes, I thank the Lord.
That's what I'm saying. We just talked about mommyhood.
Comfort zone. I am very, that's something that's not, it was not a dream of mine to do, but I was wanting to step out and to accomplish it. So I'm very proud of myself for doing that. But right now, yes, I'm just in a season of stillness. I'm just making the main thing. And I've stopped efforting a lot in this season, which is good.
Yes.
Yeah, that's just the space that I find myself. Mm-hmm.
I am proud of you.
Thank you.
I am so proud of you to see you in this space, to see you right here.
Thank you.
I've known this girl since she was like, what, 12, 13, 11?
I was 10, 11. Mm-hmm.
10, 11 years old. Oh, my goodness. And to see her evolve. And you're out here spitting wisdom to people, people who are older than you, and I just appreciate that for who you are and who you're definitely becoming.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I have you too. So I was able to get the original. Okay, I know she's selling these copies of her books, but I was able to live underneath the tutelage and the wisdom. And I can say that you practice what you preach. And you just now getting around to the preaching part because the way that you practice, the way you live your life, and the consistency that you do that. And so I appreciate that. I mean, a lot of the wisdom that I have now, it's come because of my experiences watching you as a mom and a wife, watching you as a business owner, watching you as an educator. Oh my goodness. Come on now. Providing jobs for students.
Mercy. As you know, like,
I know we talk a lot about your curriculum. We talk a lot about the school, Teachers Pets Academy. We talk a lot about that, but you tutored like on top of that. Like there was a whole separate business on top of the school. You're tutoring.
Thank you, Jill.
I would just never forget that.
Thank you so much. Yes,
absolutely. That's what happens though.
Today. Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah. I appreciate that. So she's put all of this. What do they say on the labels, on bottles? They have, tested or all that. I can guarantee you everything she said has been tested.
Like trial and error.
Okay.
Why not? Why
not? It's the best example we have, and she's not giving you something that doesn't work. She's just not talking where she's talking about things that can be accomplished. She's even sharing her story so you understand who she is, what kind of person she is, and the journey that she's had. Trust me, go get it.
Thank you, Jill. Oh, that's so sweet of you. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
See you, girl. See you next week. Look, next week, if we got the time and we continue, if we feel like it or not, you know what I'm saying? We're going to keep it real. If not, we're going to make the time and see how to juggle, our schedules. That's what we're encouraging you to do. So
that's right. Because you did, I will put a little plug in real quick, because in terms of scheduling, it was under my understanding from you, that we must schedule a time to do the nice things for other people, the stuff that we must do, the stuff we want to do.
Come on.
We need to schedule kindness to others in there.
Yeah.
See, no, they think schedule's just eating lunch and dinner and things like that.
Giving.
Yeah. You have to schedule that. Your time to give. You just out here freely giving people stuff. You got something for the saints. Oh, I can't wait for y'all to come back.
They will, and you coming back. Hello. Hey, and then we'll talk about how we had our podcast and yes, everything like that. We got to talk about.
Please. Life will have a season of stop and start, but that's okay. We bless God.
Because people and I'm like, oh, we back in effect. So we'll see and we'll hear. So everybody, you have a blessed and wonderful Tuesday, and thank you so much for joining in. Bye. Hey, this is Contessa Jackson. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel.